Shattered glass in our Nissan NV at 70 miles an hour. Not fun. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Well, this is not a video I've ever wanted to make. We were coming home from our trip to Florida Cavern State Park. You can check that out right up here if you want. What a great trip we had camping at Florida Caverns. We were 38 miles from home, pulling our cargo camper, doing about 70 miles an hour down I-75 when we heard what sounded like a gunshot go off inside the van. And what was happening was this window glass, which is on our sliding glass door of our Nissan NV, just shattered. Now, we're going straight down the road at 70 miles an hour, so there's no way a rock could have hit this or anything like that. It just seemed to just shatter. And I'm on a couple of NV fan groups on Facebook, and what we found is that this is actually a common occurrence. For some reason, the side glass on these vans is shattering on people, and from calling around to Nissan is not taking any kind of responsibility whatsoever. And so I'm making this video. I hope that anybody who has a Nissan NV will see this, will share it, will comment, and will put pressure on Nissan, because Nissan's got a big problem. So I'm driving down the road, it's getting dark, trying to get home. I'm 38 miles from home, and this thing just shatters. Glass comes into the van. Luckily, no one was cut or injured. Nobody got it in their eyes or anything like that. We were able to keep the dogs away. We were able to move away. But I basically had a decision to make. I had to either stop and try to figure out how I was going to secure this, which I didn't have anything to do that, or I could just keep driving and hope that I made it home. That's what I did. So for 38 miles, I drove in the far right lane of the interstate so that if I was dropping glass, I was hopefully dropping it not on the road, but off the road onto the berm. And we just kind of limped home so that we could get home from our trip. I don't know what I would have done, guys, if I was on a long camping trip and I was like, like this summer, we were all the way up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and northern Minnesota. Our home base is Tampa. If this had shattered on that trip, I don't know what I would have done. So I get home, I call Nissan, and there's a overstock Nissan parts website. And sure enough, I find the glass on the overstock Nissan parts website, and it just happens to be run out of my local Nissan, AutoNation Nissan here in Brandon, Florida. And so I contact them and say, hey, can I, instead of having the glass shipped, can I pick it up? They said, well, you have to pay a little bit of money from shipping because that's how we make our money, but you can buy the glass, you can come in, and then you can have it. So I go up there, I go to buy the glass, and they say, well, we have to order it. It should be here in a couple of days. So I go, no problem. I pay for the glass. I walk out. They say, we're going to call you at least by Saturday. Well, come Monday morning, still don't have a call from AutoNation Nissan in Brandon. So I call them up and they say, well, sir, we got to put you on hold. They put me on hold. They call Nissan, and this is what Nissan told them. Nissan told them that the vendor who makes this glass is not fulfilling orders. They've missed 3 ship dates so far, and Nissan could not tell me when they would have replacement glass for my van. I asked him, I said, well, what does that mean? Could that mean weeks? Could that mean months? Then the parts guy said, well, yeah, it could mean months. And he's like, this isn't the only one. We're waiting on parts all over the place. And I'm like, well, I can't be without my van for months on end. I've got trips planned. I've got things I've got to do. It hauls my boat. It's a great time to be fishing here in Florida. I can't be without my tow vehicle, without my camper van, without a family vehicle. I can't be without my vehicle. I need a piece of glass. And he said, well, I don't know what to tell you. So he did end up giving me a phone number for another Nissan dealer and said, it looks like the computer is showing that they have the piece of glass you need. He told me the dealership was in Orlando. Luckily, when I called them to ask them where they were located, they told me they were actually in Fort Myers. But I talked to the parts guy down there, and he said, yep, we have the glass in stock. He actually went and put his hands on the glass. I said, look, I'm driving from Tampa all the way down to Fort Myers. It's about a 135-mile drive one way. I said, if I'm coming down there, I want to make sure that it's actually there, that it's actually good, it's not broken. I can come get the thing. He said, yep, it's all good. Come down and get it. So I drove from my house near Tampa all the way down to Fort Myers, 135 miles one way, bought the glass, came back. Now, because it wasn't an overstock part, Instead of getting it for $550, I had to pay $775 out the door for this piece of window glass. But I think I got the only one in the state of Florida, so it was either that or wait until Nissan fulfilled the order, and who knows when that was going to be. So anyway, I bought the glass. I'm waiting on my auto glass repair guy to come and swap it out today so that we can get the Kemp bus back on the road. But guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. There are so many people who rely on their Nissan NVs day in and day out. Whether you are like us, where you use it for your camping trips and as a tow vehicle for your camper or your boat or your equipment trailer or whatever it is you're doing with it, or like so many people on the NV Families Facebook page, this is their family hauler. They're people that have big families, and if they're going to take their whole family somewhere, they need a van like this. And Nissan, when you've got a bunch of kids packed into the back of this van, you can't have your side window glass just shattering for no reason. That's ridiculous. It's time for a recall. There's been plenty of people on the Nissan NV Families Facebook page that are commenting that, yep, this is exactly happened to them, whether it's the door glass or one of the other side glasses on the van. This is definitely a problem. And so guys, anybody who owns a Nissan NV, be calling Nissan, be talking to your dealerships, call your parts departments and tell them that this is absolutely unacceptable. We need to put pressure on Nissan to make this a recall, because guys, there's no guarantee, even though I just spent $775 on a piece of glass, that it's not going to happen again, because it's happening to everybody else. So this is obviously not an affordable situation. I know there are people out there that say, oh, well, just contact your insurance company. I live in Florida, and so zero deductible for glass is only for windshields. So for me, I carry a high deductible on my van. I'm a pretty safe driver. I don't typically have any accidents. I have a $1,000 deductible on my insurance policy. So $775 for a piece of glass plus a $100 install doesn't even meet my deductible. But even if I did meet the deductible, guys, the insurance company is just going to raise your rate when you have a claim. So I didn't want that anyway. So you see the problem here, guys? This is not something that owners of these vans should have to be dealing with. I sing the praises of the Nissan NV all the time. I love this thing. Everywhere I go, people ask me, what is that? I often am commenting how Nissan built the best van for towing and camping out there, and then they canceled the thing, which is a total bummer. That they should definitely be still making them, because once it's time to trade this one in, guys, I would definitely be getting a new one. But Nissan stopped making them. But still, this is absolutely unacceptable. Nissan, you need to get a handle on this. You need to get on that vendor and make sure he's making glass so that, one, if this stuff happens to the people who are out there having these vans, that they can actually get window glass and get it installed so they can keep on the road. But also, Nissan, you need to do something about making sure that this doesn't happen in the first place. It's time for a recall. And quite frankly, you can pick up the phone and call me anytime. If you'd be happy to reimburse me the cost of this glass, I would really like it, because this just can't happen. It can't happen to families, and it can't happen to people on camping trips. That's ridiculous. So guys, as you can see, I am pretty fired up about this. I hope that you will share it. I hope that you'll put pressure on Nissan if you own one of these things. Don't let this thing happen to you guys, because if you're out on a trip somewhere, you might be stuck for months or trying to figure out how to tape this thing up so that you can get back home. Here's an up-close look at the window outside the van. As you can see, it is missing a lot of the glass, and it's spiderwebbed all the way across. As we were going down the road, we had chunks of window just falling out as we were trying to get home. What a nightmare. Due to the tint of the glass, it's hard to tell from the outside just how shattered it is. So here's a look from inside the van. As you can see, the glass spiderwebbed all the way across, and chunks of the window started to come out as we were driving down the road. I guess that's all for this video. Camp Outside usually is about getting moms and dads outside, camping, hiking, fishing, learning about nature, and learning a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. One of the ways that we do that for our family is with our Kemp bus, getting out there, pulling the boat, pulling the camper, going camping, going on road trips, exploring America. This thing has been fantastic for us, but guys, this, unacceptable. So guys, if you do like the video, or if you're a Nissan van enthusiast, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, hit that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos. But more than anything, guys, share this with people who own Nissan NVs. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Camp Outside.